Welcome to Let's Make a Game Platformer, episode 49. In last episode, I've added a window inside of the editor that allows me to select blocks or entities in the level. Between the episode, I did a small change. So first of all, I got rid of the depth bounds component that contained only information what's the maximum and minimum x and minimum y the player can actually exist in. And so this check is done in the player depth bounds check system. And instead I moved all these values to the level component. So now all the levels by default have these values that I copied from the previously the player depth bounds component. I did it between the episodes to save some time now, because I had to modify all the levels here, which was like cut and paste. So save some time. This is what I've done. Added 3 fields to level component and modified the check to be on the level entities, not on the level components, not on the player depth bound components. Okay, so that's something that I've done in between the episodes. And today I'd like to start off with modifying the the edit level window to add a couple of different things. So first of all, I want to add a modifiable value for min x, max x, min y, and so on. So to do that, I'll be introducing here in this window, objects window, I will be adding three new text fields. So 3 new pairs of values. So first of all, objects window, if you take a look, it extends table. So we can do the same stuff that we did in the table. So I'll have here a label, which is gonna be min x label. Passing UI skin as well. I'll have max x label. And min y label. Just match these here. Okay, and second of all, I will have text fields, which is also a widget in libgdx, and I will have to store it on in here because I'll be modifying the values of it when the level is loaded. So I'll have here a text field, min x field, max x field, and min y field. Okay, so let's assign them. Min x field, new text field. By default, we'll have 0 and the US skin. Max x field, 0 UI skin. Min y field, UI skin. And for all of those, we can specify which characters are allowed. So the characters that we will allow are 0 to 9, and that's it. Let's just go for 0 to 9. Car greater than equal than 0, and car less or equal to 9. Sorry, C, not car. So I'll extract this as a class. Only integer only, and I'll pass it to all the 3 of them. Okay, and finally we have to add these to the objects window. So add, we'll be adding the min_x label, then the min_x field, finish a row, max_x label, max_x field. I can do this. So I have to do here objects window row, and objects window add min_y label and min_y field. Okay, and also in here I have to specify that it is call span of 2, because as you can see in each row we have 2 fields here, and then here only 1 field, which is the 3 skin. So I have to specify that this is actually spanning 2 columns, one for labels, one for field, text field. Okay, so we have stuff here. It's happening, and the only values I can pass are, the only characters that are accepted are integers. Okay, so that's a good start. Second thing I'd like to do is to allow deleting the elements. So to do that, I'll be modifying all the nodes that are being created for the specific elements. So in here we will have, where is it? Objects window, select window. In here, so this creates a node, and this creates what we are passing to it. So in here I'll call this create entity, maybe this way, create entity representation, and in here location skin create block representation. Okay, so we have these 2 methods here. And what I'd like to do is add a button to the right of these, which is like with an X. And when I click it, it will remove the element, the entity or the block from the scene. So let's start off that we'll be using a table for this, and we'll be returning the table. We'll be adding the label here. So in here, I'll have actor. And here I'll have actor as well. Actor is basically a UI element. Okay, so we'll have the table here for entities, and I will be adding here as well a button. I will use image button. And in here I'll use drawable. And if you take a look at the skin that we've been using here, if you look at the image here, there's this, actually maybe not, I'll just create a text button here. For the time being, I can make it nicer later on. So delete button, and in here we'll have X and UI skin, delete button, align right. Okay, so we'll have this thing. I'll do the same in here for this label. So I'll have table. I'll be returning the table. And I will have the button and add the label to the table. Okay, now we have to do what happens when we click the delete button. So delete button, add new change listener. So when it is clicked, when this X button is clicked for entity, we have to delete an entity from the scene and remove the node from the tree. So first of all, we will we'll have an entity ref here, and I will be destroying it. So entity manager, destroy entity ref. And second of all, we want to remove the tree from the node. And the way we do it, in here we have entities in level. I told you it's going to be useful later. Get so this is going to be a node we want to delete, and we have to get its parent to remove the node. Okay, so this is stuff what we want to do when we have entity here. I have to add it, pass it to the entity there, and so I want to do the similar thing when the delete button is pressed on the for blocks. And to do that, I just have to modify the existing blocks. So I have to get the level entity. I have it here. Level entity get component. Level component. Get block coordinates. Block coordinates, remove location. And level set block coordinates. And finally, I have to save the entity. Save changes. I also have to make sure that we rebuild the mesh. What was it? Rebuild mesh. On the level, I have to call the build mesh. And I don't have to remove the node from the tree, because whenever the mesh is being rebuilt, if you remember, this listener is called and we re-add all the blocks. Okay, so let's see how it works. Okay, so we have these guys here. Maybe I'll make it slightly larger. I'll have a stone here. And we have this X button here, which allows me to delete. Okay, and I have a lever, and I have a cycle door, and I can delete them. Okay, something wrong happened here. Because we are not selected entity is null. Well, it's not null, but it no longer points to it. So what I have to do here is when something that is selected is being deleted, so if we destroy the entity from the node, so first of all, extract node. If node is, how do I do this? I think the tree has the information about. Okay, so I have to have the tree being an accessible field. So here I have a tree. Let's call it level 3. So if level 3 is get selection is first get last selected is equal to node, then I have to send an event on the level entity. On the level entity or on the entity itself. On the selected object I'm sending, and on the entity if the selection is cleared. Okay, so I have to send this, specifying that the selection is being cleared. So now that when I delete something that is being selected, I should no longer throw an exception. Okay, so I'll select the lever and then I'll delete it, and I'll still have a problem. Selection cleared. Let me debug it quickly. So the reason why we had this error was that this event changes in there that is added to the level 3 was called when the button was clicked, and the reason is because that's how all the hierarchy of UI elements work. That we have a button inside of the table, inside of the node, inside of the tree, and so this actor here that was passed was not actually level 3; it was a button here. So right now I'm checking that the actor is the level 3, and if it is, then I'm doing this whole logic. So now when I run it, I can remove the entities from the level by clicking the X button. So let's check this quickly. So I have a selected here, and I have a couple levers. Selection works fine still, and I can delete them one by one. Okay, that's it for this episode. Make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Twitter. A link is in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye.